Hi, welcome to Chris Cook for You Too. A lot of my viewers have written me and said, Chris, can you show us some of the healthy things that you had to eat once you had your surgery? Well, I'd like to show you just one of the things that was a real popular drink or a real popular vegetable that I had to eat right after I had my surgery, and that was kale. And this is what kale looks like. Okay, it looks like it really looks like a turnip green. If you would look at it, it looks like a turnip green, and it has a stem on it. Now I'm going to show you two things to do with this kale, two things that I have tasted and it's real good. One is I would take the kale and I would split it down the center, and you don't really have to split it if you don't want to. And I'm going to roast this kale. Now you may think that roasted kale is not good, but it's a very good dish and it tastes just like potato chips. Yes, it does. But first I'm going to show you a drink. As you know, kale is high and rich in vitamin A as well as calcium, and with the type of surgery that I had neck surgery, but of course it turned into major surgery. My bones had to be mended back together. So in order to do that, I needed some kind of nutritional supplement that would help to mend them back together. And what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to use prescription drugs, and I didn't want to use pills. So instead of doing that, I relied on just my vegetables and my fruits in order to get me through. Now I'm going to I'm going to show you two of the things that I did. Now I would tell you from the beginning, I have tried every juicer that's on the market. I have 3 juicers. If you can look over my head, there is 3 that's sitting right behind me. And while they work, some of them, I mean, it'll mix up everything and it will still be kind of grainy, and some of it will spit out the pulp. Some will spit out the real nutrient part of the vegetable that you're cutting. Some will spit that out. Well, I have found something that will not, and I'm not trying to give this product a plug. I'm just letting you know, if you're going to be looking for something that you can put all of your vegetables in and you can get a hearty, healthy glass of juice or liquids that you're trying to get the nutrients from, this will be the best product to use, and that is the NutriBullet. This is the best product when it comes to putting your vegetables in and your fruits in and blending them up. That's the best product that you can use. So I'm going to make a little quick smoothie type drink for you right now, and you try this. This is really good, and I have it all the time. Now in this is one of the containers that comes with the NutriBullet. I'm going to put inside of there some kale that I have already washed. Okay, then I'm going to put some apples. Now I use Fuji apples. You don't have to use Fuji apples. You can use golden apples, Jonathan Smith apples, any kind of apples or Granny Smith, I'm sorry, any kind of apples that you want to use. And you don't have to just make this drink with just all kale and apples. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of broccoli. I had a little bit of broccoli. I'm going to add some carrots, maybe about 3 or 4. Well, that's good enough carrots. Then I'm going to add the rest of my apples. So I didn't use a whole apple, as you can see, and I may have used about 8 leaves of kale in here, plus the little bit of broccoli. Then you're going to add some water. You can use faucet water. I don't drink it, and I don't use the water that comes from the refrigerator that much. I mostly use bottled water, and I'm not trying to promote a product, but it's either Nestle's or it's Aquafina, because those are my 2 brands now that I like. Now you're only going to fill that up half the way, and it does have a water line on it, so you can go strictly by the water line. And if you want it to be a little bit soupier than the way, not as thick as what I'm going to make it, then you would add more water to it. So I'm going to take this and put it on top. And as you can see, I have that full all the way to the top. I could have squeezed a little bit more of the kale down over in there. And you can use as much as you would like. But I'm just trying to make this real fast just to show you a real good drink that you can drink that's really healthy and you would enjoy it. So you're just going to push down on it. Okay, so I allowed that to mix maybe a little bit under 30 seconds, and then as you can see how it actually is. Now if you want this thinner, then you can just add more water to it, but this is fine for me. And you can serve it over ice if you choose to, or you can just pour it up in a glass. And as you can see, my stems, my the leafy part, my carrots, everything is now blended. I didn't put sugar in there because I didn't need to. Fuji apple is very sweet, and that's all the sweetener that you need. But if you want to add a little sugar to taste, you can. I prefer not to. This drink is good. It has all of the nutritional value that you would need to start your day, and to start your day on the right foot. I would drink, when I first came home from the hospital, I was drinking a glass a day, and then I kind of leveled out to maybe 4 glasses, you know, a week, and then maybe 3 glasses a week. But this is very healthy and it's very good. And if you get an opportunity, try it. If you're looking for something that you can just refrigerate, because what I'll do with this is I'll take and I'll refrigerate the rest. I probably won't do that because I have a daughter that's a health nut, and she will probably help me to finish this out. But you can keep this in your refrigerator for up to 5 days. It's a very good drink. I do think that it carries all the nutritional value that you're going to need to get through your day. I know it's good for the bones because it really assists me in helping my bones to mend back together. I know it's also good with vitamin A as well as vitamin C and as well as other vitamins. So try this if you get an opportunity. If you're looking for a drink that's healthy and good, you don't need to add any sugar to it. You're just going to have your vegetables inside and a little bit of fruit. Try this. You will really like it. And you don't have to, you can be versatile with this. You don't have to use what I use. You can use anything that you like to use. Just make sure that the one ingredient that you do not change is your kale. Put plenty of kale in any drink that you're going to drink. So stay tuned for a minute. I got another surprise that you can do with kale. I'm back. Be right back. Let's continue. In the beginning, I told you that this looks a lot like a turnip green. No, it looks a lot like a mustard green. I'm sorry, I mixed that up and I said, let me get that straight. It has the look of a mustard green. But anyway, I showed you whereas I had cut them in half, because you can leave them whole like this if you choose to leave them whole like that. But I thought that that was just too much, and it gives me a lot more if I just cut it in half and I use it. I have 2 different kinds here. What I did is I washed it, and then I took a paper towel and I dried it on a paper towel, and I took some more of the stem off of some of them, and then I just put it in this bowl that I have in front of me. Now this is your larger kale, and over here you have your baby kale. This tastes real good too, but the cooking time is not as long. So I'm going to make 2 different trays. I have my baking sheets here, and I'm going to make 2 different trays of the roasted kale. Now, on my baking sheet, I have a piece of wax paper. This wax paper, not all wax papers, but this wax paper you can put in your oven. It's microwavable and you can put it in your oven. You just can't put it on open flame. So I have 2 baking sheets that are already here, and they're ready for me to put the kale in it. Now I'm going to cook this off in my oven at 350 degrees, and I'm going to do it for roughly about 10 minutes or until I get the crispness that I'm looking for. Now here's the way you're going to cook it. In this, what I've done is I've mixed some flavors into this little container. I took some garlic powder, and I took some onion powder, and I took some salt, and I had this empty container, so I just mixed it up in this container, and this is going to be my flavoring for my kale. Now you can use any flavoring that you like. If you want to just use seasoned salt, you can do that. If you want to just use straight salt, you can do that. If you want to mix it with something that you may have, you know, a taste that you like of a seasoning that you have in your cabinets, if you want to mix it, just be versatile with it. You can mix it with anything you like. Just make certain that whatever blend that you mix up, put just a little bit of salt in it. It doesn't have to be a lot, just a little. Now I'm going to take this olive oil, this is olive oil here, and I'm going to drizzle just a little bit of it on the kale. Then I'm going to take my mixture that I made, and I'm going to sprinkle some of that on my kale as well. Now I'm going to mix this up. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit more, and because these leaves are big, you don't want to put enough oil on it to fry it, but you do want everything to be covered in oil, and that may be about 2 tablespoons of oil that I have put on this one bunch of kale. You want everything to have some oil on it. It does not have to be totally covered with oil. Like, that's not totally covered. These pieces are not totally covered, but you want it to have some oil on it to help it to roast, so that you can get that flavor that you can get that crispness that you're actually looking for. Now, once I've mixed it again, I'm going to take a little bit more of my onion, my garlic, and my salt, and I'm going to sprinkle down on this kale, and then I'm going to mix it back again. Okay, just like that. And I got it covered. That's why I used it in a bowl, and I'm going to save this bowl because I'm going to use it for the baby kale as well. Then you're going to take, I want to remove this that paper towel that I had in front of me. Then I'm going to take it, and I'm just going to put it out on my baking sheet. Okay? And then when I get it all over my baking sheet, and you can see it has a little bit of oil on it, you can see the shine from the oil on it. I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to do another pan with this smaller baby kale that I have over here. Now I'm going to take back my paper towels that I had and just flip it over, and then I'm going to put, because there's still a little bit of water, and you don't want all of that water because you're not trying to boil it. What you're trying to do is to roast it off. So I put it between my paper towels, and I'm just going to get some of that moisture, as much of it as I can. I'm going to get it out of this kale. This is really good. You may think it's not good, but it is really, really good. It tastes like it has a crunch when it goes down, just like a potato chip, and you don't actually taste the vegetable in it until you get ready to swallow, and then you can really tell that, you know, it's kale, but it still has a very unique and delicious taste to it. And I was very surprised that this is something that actually it would fry up, you know, it would roast up like this. So now I'm going to take the other kale, which is my baby kale, and I'm going to put my pieces over in the same bowl that I had. Okay, just to clean up a little work area here. I'm going to take that, drizzle a little more of the oil on it. And I won't drizzle as much because these are small baby pieces, and it shouldn't, you know, take me as, not as long to cook it, and it shouldn't need as much of the oil or the mixture that I made, the seasoned mixture that I made on it. I had one more piece right here. Okay. Now, I'm just going to swish that around in there, get all of my seasonings and get all of my oils on it. Now I have a double oven, so what I'm going to do is because this does not require the same amount of cooking time, and like I told you, it's 350 degrees, and it's only for 10 minutes, so you're going to have to kind of stand over it. Here's my second baking sheet that I have my wax paper on. I'm going to put this out on it. It does not have to be uniform. Make certain that it's just scattered all over. Now, I'm going to go away, cook this for 10 minutes, and when I come back, I'll show you the finished product. Okay, we're back and they're done. For this tray, which was your larger kale, I left it in for like 13 minutes. And for the smaller kale, I only put it in for 6 minutes. Now, on this tray, if it gets to this color, you've gone a little bit too far. Okay? I wanted to tell you, it should look just like this. And it should have a crunch to it. Now, I'm going to taste one from this tray so you can see, you can hear the crunch. Okay? Here we go. Seasoned to perfection. That's good. That's the way it should be. Crunch. Gonna do one from this tray. Same crunch. If you don't get that crunch, then you did not do it right. So you should have that crunch. And next time, I'm going to try this with lemon pepper, because I think that would really produce a very good flavor too. And kale is, you get a great big bunch for $2. That's all you're spending, is just $2. So that is a good price to pay for a healthy item that you can roast off and then eat. And when you're trying this kale, don't wash all of your kale at once if you're not going to use it. Because if you wash it all at one time, you're going to get a bitterness. It's going to have a bitterness to it. Just wash the amount of kale that you want to use. So, as always, here Chris is bringing you something healthy. I want to say thank you for watching. Chris cooked for you too. Bye.